Welcome back to the Champ Show. I'm Charles Head. Joining us on the line right now, a young driver who has been racing at Anderson Motor Speedway in South Carolina and down at the Great Watermelon Capital Speedway in Cordele, Georgia. Josh Hughes Jr. has joined us on the program. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, I found out a little bit about you, and that you've been doing very well in your racing at both those racetracks. So obviously, this has been a good year for you. Only had 4 races so far, but you've had some good finishes so far.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Well, I started in a quarter midget at 4.5, and that's when it got me into racing. Well,
so many of the great racers nowadays got their start in either Legends cars or quarter midgets or go-karts, and they started like you did, back 4 or 5 years old, something like that. You got to get an early start nowadays if you're going to be a big-time race car driver.
Yes, sir. I also do go-karts, too, when we're not doing the mini stock.
Okay, so you do go-kart racing now as well as the mini stock.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I have, of course, announced many races for many years at Anderson. Love that racetrack over there. And I've announced several races at Watermelon Capital Speedway over the years, so I've had a chance to be at that racetrack, too. 2 totally different kind of racetracks. How do you like those tracks?
Well, I raced at Anderson once, and it was pretty fun. But I like Watermelon Capital the best, and it's a really good racetrack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Watermelon Capital is a little different configuration. I have seen so many guys slap the wall coming out of turn 4 because it seems like that area just comes up on you real fast the way that track's configured. Have you had an opportunity to negotiate that pretty well? Have you had any troubles down there at that racetrack?
No, we haven't wrecked any. We had one wreck. We did have one wreck my first night going down there and to turn 2.
Mm-hmm. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He came high, and I went low, and he came down on me.
I see. Yeah, sometimes that happens, especially whenever you're starting out in the stock 4 classes. Those cars kind of get tail happy sometimes, and they get a little loose, and that makes guys kind of come down on you sometimes. So that does happen in those divisions especially. Your racing career is one that started out on the asphalt, and have you ever thought about running dirt any?
Well, I hope to run dirt some in the mini stock, but right now we're going to start on asphalt and go step by step.
Well, the reason I ask that is the drivers that I think that make it best when they get to Sprint Cup or Nationwide racing are the drivers that have had some dirt experience. They know a little bit about dirt, something about that feel of the car kind of getting out from under you and having to catch it before you're in that power slide. It seems like that those guys seem to fare better in track conditions whenever things get really hot and slippery, like Tony Stewart, for instance. He really knows what to do with a race car whenever the track gets hot and the tires get slippery and it wants to slide up the racetrack. So that's why I was asking. It might be good to get some dirt experience under you. Not that I want to change you over completely from asphalt racing, because that's obviously there's 2 ladders out there. There's the ladder of asphalt racing and the ladder of dirt racing, and you want to get on that ladder for asphalt and stay in it so somebody will notice you as you work up. But at 12 years old, man, you got a huge future ahead of you.
Thank you.
What's your plans now for the rest of the year?
We're hoping to go back to Watermelon Capital on August 17th with our Ford Mustang, and we're going to try to do our best.
Well, I know that you're going to do well there. I understand also that you're playing football this year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, at White County Middle School.
White County Middle School, okay. And last week, I think you were awarded the White County Athlete of the Week. What a cool designation.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Few coaches told me they saw it in the paper.
Well, that's pretty neat. Now, with that, is that because of your racing or your football career?
It was because of my racing.
You're racing. How good is that? I don't know if you've heard the name Brent Russell or not, but Brent Russell is a driver that has been racing at Toccoa and Livonia on dirt, and he played for Georgia Southern, and he was drafted this year by the Chicago Bears. So he has been able to mix his love of football and his love of racing, and continues on. And on weekends, when he's not at the training camp for Chicago Bears, he still comes back and races with us on the weekends. That's kind of a cool thing to be able to do both, isn't it?
Yeah, I went to Dakota and saw him one night.
Oh, did you? So you had a chance to meet him?
Yep.
Great. Well, I'm glad you had a chance to do that. Now, as you look toward your career in racing, you're racing mini stocks now. When do you think that you will have an opportunity to move up to another level?
Maybe in a couple years.
Okay.
I'm trying to still get used to a stock car, and we're gonna progress. And while I progress, we'll move me up a class.
Okay. Now, what class will you move to? Will you move to like an outlaw late model, or will you move to a sportsman class? What are you looking at going to next?
It won't be a late model. It'll be around a street stock or something,
Okay.
or pro stock.
Okay. So you're going to still a regular framed car, not quite get in the tube chassis or anything like that yet.
Right.
Now, your dad races also. What does he race?
Well, he used to have a truck, and he sold it to some guy in Alabama.
I remember when he used to race
Yeah.
with the truck series. Matter of fact, I think we ran. Well, no, we didn't run Watermelon Capital in the trucks. We ran St. Augustine and Montgomery and a lot of those tracks back in the day, and of course Lanier on a regular basis too. And I'm sure you.
He goes to Florida every now and then and races a car down there.
Oh, really?
Some friends we know.
How about that? I know that if Lanier were running, you'd be running that track as well.
Yeah, it's a lot closer.
Yeah, it would be great. We'd love to see that track getting back at it, and hopefully one of these days they will, but it's just not to be at this point anyway. But maybe soon somebody will buy that and we can get it going.
Let's hope so.
Now, Gresham is, of course, a half-mile track. That's a little larger. Speeds are a little higher. Are y'all talking about you going to Gresham at some point? You may be a little young for Gresham at this point, but have you talked about going there in the next few years?
Well, we have a stock motor, and we're hoping over the winter we can rebuild it, and we'll go hit Gresham and see how it turns out.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a real good thing. So in the off season, you're going to just try to get that car ready with a little more power and everything ready for next year. So that's the off season plans this year, huh?
Yep.
With football season coming up here very soon, how's that going to impact your racing? Are you still going to be able to race past August 17th, or is that kind of going to be the end of it for this year?
We're not really sure yet. We're going to find out soon.
Okay, so
how it'll impact.
So you'll know your schedule coming up here whenever the, I guess, closer to the time when school starts.
Yes, sir.
And you'll be going into what grade?
7th.
7th grade. Okay, boy, that's a great time of life. I remember that so well going into 7th grade. And I hope you have a great year this year. And I tell you what, I want you to contact me when you get that first feature win, okay? And we will do another interview and talk about that particular race. Will you do that for me?
Okay. We're looking for sponsors also.
Sure.
And y'all can visit us on HughesRacing.org or Facebook.
Now that's Hughes Racing, Hughes Racing.org.
HUGHES Racing.org.
HUGHES. I should have had that down. HUGHES Racing.org or on Facebook.
Thank you for having me.
All right, hang on just a second. Do you have any sponsors right now, or is it just are you just looking for sponsors?
We're looking for some.
Okay.
We really are. We could really use some.
Who helps you on the race car right now as far as preparing it?
My family.
Okay.
My dad, my mom, and my little brother.
All right, so it's all a family affair then.
Yes, sir.
When people see you at the racetrack, what number are you in?
I'm in number 5.
Number 5. Well,
Black car, green number.
Green. What color car?
Black car.
Black car with a green numeral.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Well, we hope folks will check you out when you're at Watermelon Capital on August 17th, and then maybe you'll have a chance to get back to Anderson as well and race some more over there.
Okay.
Josh, we appreciate you being on the program. Thanks so much for being with us and spending time with us tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. Josh Hughes Jr. has been our guest. We'll be back with more on The Champ Show right after this.